Ready, aim, fire. 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 Fire. Ready, aim, fire. Fire.
370 coaches entered REBBL Season 8, the biggest season on record. Now, just 61 remain, all with their eyes on one prize. After a grueling season, their biggest challenge now lies ahead of them.
Oh, Nemo, no! Nemo! You were the chosen one!
Over the next 6 weeks, prepare to experience the highs and the lows of Knockout Blood Bowl. Drama is guaranteed. Welcome to the place where heroes are born. Welcome to the place where legends are made. Yasin scores!
You've done it!
Welcome to the REBBL Playoffs.
Belt dodge. Boy's dead! And Stinger Bell is dead as well! The two-layered convoy team is falling to pieces.
Whoa! Filamy gnome!
Why would you apple the king? It's a king!
Unbelievable, Jeffrey!
This is so tense! 2 plus pick up fails! You and Horse are the champions! Hello everyone, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome along to another REBBL Playoffs round of 64 game. It's a GMAN versus REL. It's Mighty Reptiles taking on Nerves. And here to co-commentate is Luminous.
Hey everyone.
How you doing, Luminous? You alright?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good to have Lumi here. It's been a while since we co-casted, probably the last REBBL
playoffs.
Yeah. But of course you can't co-cast tomorrow because I'm doing your game. So figure to get you in tonight.
Yeah, I'm one of those like 4 or 5 in like a 2-hour span or something.
Tomorrow night sort of European time is just super busy for playoff games. I think I'm doing a back-to-back, Metal's doing a back-to-back game at the same time. And yeah, it's going to be nuts. You're going to need about 6 screens to watch it all.
Yeah, there's probably going to be like a multi-twitch, but you probably can't fit it on one monitor.
Should be a good night. But first off, we've got this one. And this is Mighty Reptiles from GMAN Division 2. They eventually won GMAN Division 2 in the end, did the Reptiles. Coached by Creatan, and I think it's his first time in the playoffs, unless I'm very much mistaken. But it's more lizards, and it's more lizards with a block Croxigore and an Agi5 skink as well.
There just seems to be so many Agi5 skinks and so many Bloxigores in the REBBL. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's I mean, this is sort of a halfway house between what you'd call a traditional control lizard team, and then they've just got that one killer Saurus there with Pom and Tackle in Terry Hall.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot lately. With 130's team, Tadpoles in the Big City had I'm trying to remember his name, Blanky?
It might
was like a jump up palm tackle.
Was it Joe Dirt? It might have been Joe Dirt.
Oh no, it might have been Joe Dirt. Yeah, you're right.
But he's we see a lot of them these days, the old Killosaurus. So it'll be interesting to see. He's up against Undead, so we'll see whether regen does its thing. But if that thing can get near any ghouls, it should be painful. Also watch out for Guy GMAN, who is sprint, sure feet, and sidestep, so very useful for the old one-turn threat. But it's 1 Croxigore, 6 Saurus, and 5 Skinks on this team.
Yeah, only still a bench of 1, and he's going to have to be pretty careful in protecting these Skinks, because the Undead have a lot of tools to get them off.
They technically finished top of the league, did the Mighty Reptiles, but they were tied with 3rd and 2nd. They all finished on 27 points. Creatan taking 1st place on the better touchdown differential between the 3 teams. So really, really close, which I think speaks well for how we build the divisions, which is a good thing. If divisions were sort of really one-sided, one team running away with it, that'd be quite boring. So it's fun to have it close.
Yeah, certainly.
We'll take a look at their opponents tonight, who are a team we've literally just thrown in. Only just accepted his ticket minutes ago. That is Nerves. And interesting story behind Nerves, actually, because they were top of the league coming into the final week. They were from 9C, I believe, in REL, so it's a fresh team, this one. And they went into the final week, obviously knowing that a win guarantees them their playoff spot. And they lost to Halflings.
Of all teams to lose to, you lose to Halflings on the last game that you need for playoffs.
They lost 2-0 to Scambammer's Halfling team, only for his rival, I think it was Furil's Lizardman team, Economy of Scale, to also lose their game. Meaning that Dick Delaware gets in sort of by the skin of his teeth. But coming off the back of a 2-0 loss to Halflings, now taking on the top team in GMAN Division 2. It's a tough old ask for the Undead here, but they've got some good players.
Yeah, they've got a lot of guard. They've got a killer femoral with the palm tackle, who should be very good at hunting skinks. A lot of dodge, even a blodge white as well.
Having that guard on the ghoul is useful as well, just for a bit more mobile guard. The mummies are quite difficult to keep shifting around the field.
And the double DP. So I was going to point out that the stadium actually would have been very important here. Each team has their own stadium. The Dick Delaware has a bribe stadium, and obviously he has the dirty players in the bench to leverage it, while the Lizards do not. And the Lizards have the food area, or it was the anti-throw rock, anti-bribe, I believe. And that's the stadium that we're in.
Yeah, they are at home, the Mighty Reptiles. So yeah, there is it's the Squig Sandwich Chaos, which does indeed cancel throw a rock and get the ref. So there'll be no fun at the fair today, unfortunately for us.
Yeah, but the Undead are going to get a significant amount of inducements. I think around 300-ish, I think. I don't know the exact number. 1570 TV for Dick Delaware and 1800 for Creatan, but they have some extra cash. I don't know if they've burned it already. I'm looking in League Manager right now.
The Lizards are certainly set on 150k in game. Nerves at 170k, so might choose to spend a little bit. Metal, if you're here, I believe you have mod powers. There's some spoilers in the chat. Get rid of the spoilers. We can't have spoilers. That was the next thing I was going to say. Actually, the winner of this will go up against whichever team won between Steve and Superfed. But of course, because that game only happened yesterday, we're not going to spoil it in case anyone wants to go back and watch that one. But it certainly is worth a watch. So it's Orcs or Chaos for the winner of this. Have you got any of the particular team that you fancy here, Lumi?
I think the Undead, if they can get some removals early, they have an easy shot. The Lizards don't have a deep bench, and the way you attack Lizards is you have to hunt the Skinks. Creatan's going to have to be very careful to keep those Skinks behind his wall of Saurus. And he has to make sure that you can't just leave a Saurus get gang fouled as well because of the dirty player.
Yeah, even though there's no bribe, there's plenty of zombies on the bench for Dick Delaware, so he'll not be shy about throwing fouls on high-value targets.
But yeah, I think it's actually a lot closer than this is a season 1 team versus a season. Is this a 2-season team or a 3-season team?
I think it's 3 seasons. Actually, my old Halfling team went up against this Lizardman team last season and got horribly, horribly mangled, as you might expect.
Yeah, but it's a lot closer than you would think from a single season versus a 3-season team. Just looking at the team compositions.
Yeah, I mean,
Undead starts really strong early as well.
It's that whole thing with Lizards of not wanting too many bloaty skinks. He's obviously opting for the 2 super good skinks and then 3 skinks who are very much as rookies and there for the mobility rather than a bunch of skills. Don't think the game is live yet. No, we're probably a couple of minutes away from kickoff here. So that probably gives us a chance to have a look at the tipping bracket. If I can find that. Just bear with me in a moment. So there it is. Rodo's
I think I'm like 50-50 on guesses, which I guess is not surprising.
Yeah, very difficult to call so far, the first round. Lots of close games. There's already a few sort of round of 32 games lined up that you can already go and tip on. Spoilers, of course, would exist there. So let me have a look. We'll have a little search here to see how many have picked the mighty Reptiles. It seems like 18 have gone for Creatan, whereas just 11 have gone for Nerves. So most going for the GMAN Lizards here. This is only the second real big hitting GMAN team. Most of the GMAN teams we've seen so far have been sort of mid to low tier GMAN seeds, as you would sort of think of them. Either from the Fresh Divisions or GMAN 5 or the third... Steve's team that we saw was the 3rd qualifier from GMAN 3. So this is one of the bigger hitters. We'll see whether they live up to that billing.
Yeah, so far GMAN has had a rough start in this tournament.
Yeah, without wanting to spoil too much and give away individual results, GMAN have been involved in every game up to this point. And there was points where it wasn't going so well. So, as I say, this one was due to kick off around a minute ago, so hopefully the coaches are just in the inducement phase now. And then we will be good to go from there. We're following this one up with, I believe, it's Iron Madden versus the Drakwold Day Labourers, which is Khemri versus humans.
And that's certainly going to be a game, because everyone knows Gengar's team is just monstrous. I don't see how Monakra gets out of that game alive.
That's a very good point. Obligatory Simeon, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. And welcome along to the playoff show this evening. We seem to have quite a crowd in, which is great news. So yeah, what we're going to do after this game is done is we're going to throw over to, I believe it's Metal and Hindus who are casting that game between Gengar and Monica, which is an all REL affair. Even though Gengar is technically based in Europe. I'm sure you guys will claim him if he starts killing things.
Yeah, he'll be moving up to Rel 1 this season, I think. Next season.
I don't think you guys have had Khemri in the top division.
No.
GMAN certainly hasn't. I'm trying to get there, but it'll take me at least one more season. Maybe
We
two.
haven't even had Nurgle yet.
Ooh. You've got plenty of Nurgle in the lower reaches waiting to get up there. I'm sure we can arrange that.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that.
Okay, so just waiting for confirmation from either coach in the playoff chat. I checked in with Creatan. As far as he knew, they were going for the 6 p.m. start UK time. It looks to like Dick Delaware's certainly in Blood Bowl 2. So we can't be too far away. So what do we reckon, chat? Can we get some predictions in for this one? GMAN Lizards or fresh REL Undead?
I'm trying to think of the last time Undead has made a deep run in the playoffs, and I just cannot think of one.
It's really interesting, actually. We talked on the podcast towards the start of the season, where we were talking about a lack of Undead teams across all regions and divisions, really. But all of those Undead teams that seem to have come into the Fresh divisions have tended to perform really well. Obviously, Undead being a very good team at low TV. The problem is what you do in that second and third season when everyone else catches up.
Yeah, you need to get some good level up, some stats. Otherwise, then you're kind of going to get left behind by all the chaos and the Nurgle. And
Yeah, we've seen 3 straight seasons in GMAN 1 now. 6, 7, and 8, where there's been an Undead team. 3 different Undead teams thrown in to that division each season, and none of them have really survived at all.
yeah, so Creatan is asking if playoff inducements are allowed in the playoffs.
They certainly are. Asking for a friend, he says. So yeah, Creatan's record was the GMAN 2 was really close over the regular season. As I said, there was 3 teams finished at the top on 27 points each, and it was touchdown difference that split the 3 of them. How we determined which of Creatan, Bleeding Hippie, and Infinite Pink. Nurgle, Chaos Dwarf, and Lizards, reverse order there.
But they were all getting in, right? It was just a matter of how they were seeded.
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, Creatan's final opponent, some kind of wizard, wasn't actually able to make the game, which meant he got an admin win, which in the end gave him top spot. But it was 8-3-2 for all 3 of them, which is not... We've seen better records. We've certainly seen better records, but considering how close... The 3 teams in 4th, 5th, and 6th all finished on 24 points. So all 3 of those teams were only 3 points away from maybe sneaking in.
Yeah, that is close. No, 8 wins is certainly better than my record this season.
Yeah, I mean, it looks across most divisions like 23 points was sort of the minimum needed to get in. And that was exactly what you got, 23 in the end. 11-0-2 it was for Nerves. And he finished 2 points ahead of Furl and Economy of Scale, who were a Lizardman team. That was the only Lizardman team in that division, so he'll have only had one sort of experience of playing against a Lizard team with this particular Undead team. But of course, that one will have been considerably less developed than the one he's about to go up against now. And one of Dick Delaware's losses, of course, was in Week 13 to the Halfling team. So we'll see if he bounces back from that. He'd rather lose that game than this one, because he did end up qualifying in the end thanks to Furl's defeat in the final week as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Creatan would have absolutely loved to go against Furl's Lizards as opposed to this Undead team.
Yeah, well, we saw, as the game is live now, we saw in the opening section of the very opening game, a Lizard match between Mirascardu and Hindus that was a very interesting watch. So worth checking that one out. That was on my channel. But the Lizard Mirror, we thought the Lizard Mirror was going to be dull. It was anything but.
Yeah, usually when you think of Lizard's mirrors, you just think of swords hitting each other over and over and nothing happening. Kind of like a dwarf off. But yeah, that game ended up being a lot more different than that.
Here we go then. It is a wizard and a Bloodwiser Babe for Dick Delaware. Unsurprisingly getting the inducements in his favour. Looks like the Lizards are going to receive. But it's a 3-man bench for the Undead and just the 1 on the bench for Creatan. So it's unlikely the Lizards are going to be able to run up a numbers game here. Their best chance is to remove the key positionals really and just leave a bunch of zombies fielding the play.
This is a very, very condensed defensive formation for the Undead. They're not spread out at all, and that's going to give Creatan a lot of position to be able to move down the sides. Oh no, they're going Protect 5, never mind. I thought they were going to do some weird formation, but yeah, it's just Protect 5.
It's sort of Protect 5-ish. I mean, you could bang a Saurus in there to take out that ghoul. But you'd have to mark up a lot of Mighty Blow players, and that probably wouldn't be the best idea.
Yeah, I'm not really, like the Source, I'm not too scared about the Mighty Blow, but you're not getting that Source out of there, and he probably is going to get fouled with the DP on the left side as well.
Steve, it's a wizard and a Bloodwiser Babe, so, of course, 3+ KO rolls for Dick Delaware, but I don't think this one's particularly obvious to call. It's one of those games that could go either way. I don't think these teams are either of the more well-known teams in the playoffs, or indeed the more well-known coaches. So, be interesting to see how this one goes.
Yeah, it looks like Creatan's going to be blitzing the dirty player, trying to get those out relatively early, so they don't have an influence on this game. He's lined up the killer right there.
Of course, there is a kick zombie, so Dick Delaware will get to make use of that before it's inevitably targeted later in the game.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see how often Creatan will pile on. It's pretty scary against this undead team.
Unless you
can't protect the source.
Yeah, unless you can remove both of those dirty players sort of pronto, then you would expect any piling on to be met with a swift boot from a dirty player if any of them are left free. Of course, the ideal scenario for a dirty player is to have a killer come and pile on and fail to break armor. So you can just stand up on the next turn and foul him.
I've had that happen to me before. Well, I've had it happen in favor of myself.
Both teams get an extra reroll here.
I killed the pile-on Troll Slayer at the time, so that was good. That could happen here.
There's actually no one has a +1 fame, so it's even fame. Apparently none of the fans care about this game, but an instant blitz on the dirty player finds a boat. He might take the boat down result here, and then consider whether he wants to pile on.
Oh no, he's gonna push him back. Of course, not gonna follow up.
Nothing doing, and I don't think he would have piled on anyway. So sending Skinks across to protect the ball, although really, it's not under any threat from the Undead team with it being sort of mid-range back in the Lizard half.
Yeah, but the Skinks back here is certainly safer than up there.
Frenzysaurus Dwayne Robertson failing to knock down that block dirty player zombie. But a successful hit from Jesse Hall. And a Kaz. It is going to regen.
And I think is Sarkisodon formerly a Saurus? His name, I think it sounds like a team that, I don't know, what was Furl's team theme?
I don't know. It's certainly a lizard team. There's a bonehead from the Crocs, which I don't think will make too much difference, but it will allow that zombie to get out of the way. But I think you're right. I think that zombie there, Sarkastodon, is almost certainly a former Saurus.
Yeah, and the only Lizardman team in his div was Furl, right?
Yeah.
So there's a chance, yeah. Alright, so now there's not a gap because the Proxagore is filling the gap at least, but he could open a gap, but I don't think he can get, oh well, a ghoul can reach the ball carrier. He's probably going to move the Blodger to screen up in the front.
Because of the fact that we didn't knock down that zombie, it's actually the block zombie there that can, with enough assists, take a hit against that Saurus. If you can knock him over, there would be a gap right in the center of the field for Dick Delaware to start pressurizing the ball.
Yeah, it's still there. There's only one Saurus left to move. Ken Wu needs to screen that off, otherwise then you might be able to get a 2-die. That's not good enough.
It's a half sort of baked effort, really.
So we'll see if he goes for it. He's placing the guard here, so he is going to go for the Saurus hit.
I mean, the white is one square short from chucking a few cubes to try and get a tackle hit. There's the pout, and that is going to open up that gap, you know.
Yeah, but I think he'd need to do a 4+ dodge to get in there now, at least. The Saurus is not in a bad place. It would be nice to have at least moved him another square to the left.
It's unfortunate that the Wrestle Ghoul is positioned behind the block guard Ghoul.
Yeah, you'd want it the other way here. So yeah, now he's debating. Might go and just blitz a Saurus. None of the Skinks are really hittable aside. Well, plus Agi-Skink. Yeah, it's not really hittable from there.
Here comes the Pom hit on the block guard. Saurus targeting the guard does make a lot of sense here. Has a free reroll. Does
and he double skulls.
Oh dear.
Reed was not good. And that Palmer is a very valuable player for Dick in this scenario.
There's
but I don't know
chance
if you can afford to foul it as Creatan because you've only got one spare.
I might consider a sidestep Skink good enough to foul that. Because you can get a lot of players in for a foul. And if you could remove that with no regen, that's happy days. For a start, it's the only tackle.
So if that does happen, dude, then do we see a fireball?
Very possibly. Very possibly. That's going to free up the Croxigol. Now the Crocs could tie itself in there next to that guard mummy. Blitz comes in on the Mighty Blow dodge white with tackle double skull.
Double skull, but at least this time, not another double skull.
That's both coaches now having used their free reroll that Nuffle granted them. Nuffle giveth, Nuffle instantly taketh away. Croxigo.
That's making me think there might be a foul.
You see, I'm the sort of person who would definitely foul that, but I'm greedy.
If he falls up here, which he will, he doesn't want to get hit by that mummy. That's 2 assists now, and you can easily get
Theoretically,
2 more
5 assist foul if he wants to go hell for leather here.
Oh. Maybe not.
With the fireball in play, I think it's sensible to not completely surround.
Yeah, he's not going for the foul.
So moving the ball over at the right flank. Of course, that early turnover means that most of the Undead team are a little out of position here. That guard stand for mummy, is in no man's land. Now, are we going to see a foul? I don't think we are. No.
No. He's not that much of a threat right now. The best he can do is blitz the block guard Saurus, which he double skulled. I think that was the the Saurus he double skulled against on the reroll.
Zombies doing zombie jobs and tying up Saurus so that they are not in the game, but we need to shift the entire Nerves team over to protect against these skinks a bit.
Yeah, Undead is so slow that you have to be pretty careful in your positioning, and the Lizardmen team is just so much faster. You've got your movement 8 skinks, and all of your other players are movement 6.
The first dub skull that we saw was off the back of a greed reroll, yeah, with the Pommer. He rolled push skull and then greeded into double skull. The second double skull was the first roll that Creatan threw. He obviously rerolled that because he didn't want to turn over. Again, guys, it was 2 losses for Nerves in the regular season. It was 1 loss all the way up until the final week when they lost to the Halfling team. So it was very, very solid up until that one weird result. But he may have been playing protection with the team for the playoffs. Although, to be fair, he wasn't actually confirmed as in at that point. So that would have been a bold strategy. I assume he's planning to use the Pom Blitzer here to blitz away. He's going to blitz back onto his feet and try and take out that Block Guard Saurus again. He's about a level after the game, Jesse Hall. After getting that Kaz on Sarcastodon.
Yeah, assuming he survives.
That is a better position for the mummy than leaving it here. Here comes that blitz. It's chain push as well. And again.
Will we greet it again?
Not
no.
this time. We've learned our
his lesson.
Yeah. Interestingly, I might have been more inclined to push that Block Guard Saurus onto the mummy with stand firm there. Because he's actually
stopped him from going anywhere, yeah.
He's really useful in that spot.
Yeah, the ghouls are relatively vulnerable, but the killer is way too far away to hit them.
Yeah, the killer all the way over on this far side of the field, so we really need to spend a turn just getting him back across. Knockdown on the dirty player there, Sakral. No damage this time. I don't think we're really in a position to do the old switchback with the lizards because too many of the skinks are right over on this far side.
Yeah, and the mummies are relatively center, so they could easily just move back towards the center.
Well, that's not a bad both down to take because the Croxigor now has a 3 dice on the killer. So killer is based up against killer, but thanks to where we left that guard, the Croxigor does now have a 3 dice. And it looks to me like we might actually switch the play back around to this side with where the skinks are moving.
Yeah, the ghouls kind of went a bit far, but the mummies are pretty well positioned to go back and try to prevent him from moving left.
Yeah, certainly one of them is because it's not tied down. The sort of lesser of the two mummies there, Vegas, is very much trapped in amongst a few Saurus, so he's not going anywhere in a hurry. I think he was sort of forced, though, with the turnover on turn 1 to push those ghouls across that way. And that has allowed Creatan to switch across to the other side here. Here comes the Croxigor, 3 dice, and again we don't find the knockdown. Chooses to keep the killer exactly where he is, and I think I agree with that as well.
Yeah, now there's only a 1 die on the killer, or this 2 die on the zombie. And that will allow for, in this case, it's going to be a 2 die on the white. 2 assists.
Yeah, it's 2 assists versus 2 assists. There's 2 dice, that's another double
And
skull.
double skulls!
Wow. We get the knockdown this time, but we don't find a removal. Don't imagine we're going to foul with the Agi 5 skink. Certainly not without a bribe. Seems like a waste of a solid 100 and something K.
He's probably just going to go back and hide behind near the ball, if I'm going to guess.
So yeah, that double skull from the killer here, femoral, has really allowed Creatan to lock him down.
And he's been positioning pretty well. None of the skinks have been in positions where they can take a hit from one of these whites.
Got a very, very solid Saurus line here in the early skirmishes in this one. He does have a 1-man advantage, thanks to the zombie getting removed, but there's enough of a bench to mean that casualties just aren't an issue at all for Dick Delaware, unless it starts to be the big positionals that get hit. Block guard goes down again.
Yeah, that mummy's probably just getting hit next turn.
I wonder if again he'll look to use the killer to hit the other killer on a stand-up blitz. He can bring in his other. He can bring in the guard ghoul if he's very brave. He might need the mummy further across to that
Yeah,
flank.
he's moving him further across, yeah. Got to try to prevent that. Try to prevent him from running up the left side.
Thing is, if he can find a knockdown here on the what's his name? Terry Hall, the Saurus killer, there's a dirty player in a wonderful position to get a foul away.
Yeah, but he might use... Well, yeah, he's going to need... He's probably going to bring along 1 player to get a hit on the Blodgesaurus with the zombie Hippoglossal. He can use the dirty player, or he can use the white.
The issue is, actually, if he does bring across the other player, he's actually going to block the place he'd want to block that Saurus too.
So he's going to move the guard ghoul. That means we're not going to see a blitz on the killer, I'm guessing.
He could do it on a 1 dice, but that'd be brave.
Yeah, I doubt that.
But as I say, the problem being that if he put the guard there, he wouldn't have been able to push Terry Hall into the square he wants. He's going to just come in with a hit here on the Frenzysaurus instead.
That's going to get a mark on the ball if he follows.
It could combo here for a mark in the ball and a foul. The only issue being it needs a 4+ zombie dodge. No armor break. Will he choose to follow that up here to mark the skink in possession of the ball?
Yeah, it's like he's debating it. I don't really see a huge... Okay, so he does not. He's just going to keep him there. You would leave the white on the diving tackle, but I don't think that's a bad thing. The white would just hit the skink.
He's got the option of a 1 assist foul on the guard Saurus if he brings that ghoul around to provide that assist. We'll see if he goes for it. Looks like he might, you know.
Might. Yeah, he's gonna go for it.
Yeah. Getting rid of the guard is a good strategy. Jesse Hall is injured. Oh, it's a niggle as well now. Do you Apo that?
I
That's
think you
about
do.
to level.
You're gonna go down to Saurus for
It's
at
a
least the next
really-
game.
It's a really good source. Apo produces an MNG.
MNG, that doesn't make much of a big difference for the playoffs.
Not for the playoffs, but in terms of the future life of that player, it's actually a massive role. Because we do get to level him and we do get to keep him on the teal, but that is a big removal. The referee, perfectly fine with it. We are down a Saurus for the rest of this game, and it's one of the 2 block guard. That does mean as well that the Undead now outguard the Lizard team by 3-1. The Croxigar only has block, doesn't have guard yet. The other guard, of course, is stuck on the zombie on this side of the field. Well away
Losing
from the ball.
that Saurus is gonna really, really hurt him. I don't know if we pointed it out, but that block guard source is also AV8.
Trouble Scrabble suggesting that the foul wasn't particularly great value. I don't know. I mean, he's got so many zombies on the bench. And he does have 2 dirty players on the field that you can afford to maybe be a little bit leery with them. It's killer on killer time again.
It wasn't likely to get the removal. I would say I would certainly agree with that. But with the positioning that he was in, I don't think it was a terrible foul.
We got a mummy down, we got the killer down again, and the Croxigar is tying up both of those players. What I think we might see here is Creatan move back towards his Croxigar, back towards his killer, and certainly back towards the remaining guard Saurus, who, by the way, is armor value 8.
Could foul the Palmer this time, or he could foul the Mummy. But the Mummy is a bit harder, would be a bit harder to get the armor break.
Gonna see a blitz here. It does find a POW on Sky Attic. Despite the blodge.
I don't think the Lizardmen have actually broken armor yet.
Well, they've got 1 removal. We haven't seen an animation.
That was the cast. That was the early cast. But since then, I don't think they've broken armor.
Yeah, we've not seen any animations yet because it was a regened zombie. I agree. I think what chat is saying is right. The second dirty player made that foul so much more worthwhile. You're not just burning your 1 dirty player on that. The fact you got 2 means you can afford to be much more leery with the first one. Now, how do you like your fireballs? Croxigar, diving tackle, skink, and a killer? You can also add in a sidestep skink if you're feeling really rowdy, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, because you're not even getting the fireball on the ball. Or no, are you talking about the 3-man?
There's a 4-man available, but it would open up a shot to the ball if you got all of them.
Yeah, and I don't
it's
know
not a
if
good
I'd
play.
count on that.
Instead, I fully expect to see... The only problem is... No, you know what? He can target the other guard Saurus, and I absolutely expect him to do that. The killer is on the floor right next to him.
But the Palmer, yeah, and there's no guard, so you just need 2 assists, stand up the Mummy, and then you can go for the guard or AV8. So if you
I
break
think
armor,
that's definitely his blitz here. Target the other guard Saurus with the Apo gun.
let's see.
You get rid of both of them, and suddenly Dick Delaware is in a fantastic spot.
And also frees up the Killer White if he does get the knockdown or push. Well, if he gets the knockdown, he'll be free of the Crocs, which he's been stuck on for pretty much the entirety of this game.
Yeah, he wants to get away from those 2 players. Mummy hit finds a POW on Dwayne Robertson. Mummy hit finds a KO.
That's 2 Sorai down. I think Creatin's gonna have to try to push for a score pretty soon here. It's gonna start. It could start getting pretty bad.
Nerves
he
are not
might have to roll
showing
dice.
any sign of nerves so far. This is a very, very solid performance from Dick Delaware so far. Here comes that blitz. And again,
Will he greet it?
He doesn't get the job done.
Tempting. Nah, it just takes it.
I understand that decision based on how the first one went. It was more important, I feel, to get off the Croxy goal. What it doesn't necessarily do is save him from the killer. You might have to throw another zombie in there. The zombie hit on the Rookiesaurus is available. You can also bring the guard ghoul around, though you wonder at this stage whether he needs to push forwards to prevent the forward momentum, or whether it's worth preventing the switch back again. I don't think Creatan's in a position to switch back anymore. He's committed to this side at this stage.
Could also follow that source.
Could foul that Saurus. Very good point.
The only thing is, if you do that, then the right wing is available for him to score. Probably won't be able to stall it, but...
Oh, he's going for the
and
foul.
he's going for it. He's going for it.
Whoa.
Oh, and the ref sees that one.
Stun and a send-off, and we're even numbers, 9 versus 9. What that does do...
So one's down 2 zombies and one's down 2 Saurus.
Yeah, that's very, very true. One of them is block guard. The other one's block frenzy. So I know which 2 I'd rather be down. First action, Croxigore finds a POW, but the reason we've taken that is to free up the killer. We now have a killer on killer shot again. And what we can do here is theoretically clear up this right-hand flank, because then that would free up Dean Portman to take a shot on the zombie. It's exactly what we're going to do.
Killer on killer.
Terry Hall gets him down again. Will he greed the pom?
No. That's probably a wise decision.
So one block here from the Saurus finds another POW, and now suddenly we've got acres of space down this right-hand flank to start shifting these skinks into. And really, the Undead are so far out of position all of a sudden in relation to the ball, having committed to that foul, that the Wizard isn't even worth it here. Unless
yeah, if the
you're literally just
zombie
going to
was
fireball
standing
all the
there, he
skinks.
wouldn't have been able to do it this way. He would have had to blitz the zombie, and then... Yeah, he wouldn't have been in as good a position as he is now. Yeah, the Wrestle Ghoul is probably the most dangerous thing right now. Or is he just going to sideline cage it?
He might. You're opening up the chance here that Dick Delaware might press the nuke button.
It's an odd sideline cage. Handing off to the plus agility maybe, or is he just going to stand there?
I think he's just going to stay where he is.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to leave the ball on the sideline. At all. Because I bolt that now. 3 in 8 chance of that ball going into the crowd. I would say you bolt that right now.
Okay. Yeah, the diving tackle is at least fairly well placed. So you can't just... Yep, here comes...
Oh, he goes for the fireball, and the fireball...
He gets them!
Gets the ball in the
Oh,
crowd.
and it goes out! Oh, and the perfect place for the Undead.
I disagree with the fireball, but you can't argue with the results. Surely nerves are going to be 1-0 up here.
Just needs to pick up the ball, and there's really no skink to even recover the ball if nerves does fail it, so...
The RG5 skink is so far out of this game, he is irrelevant at this stage.
Yeah, if he was farther back, and he would have been able to retrieve, the ghoul would fail the pickup, but...
That is a big, big moment in this Blood Bowl match. And Dick Delaware massively rewarded for his decision to fireball there. It was a 3-player fireball.
Yeah, so what's the plan? I'm guessing he's thinking of what he wants to blitz right now. He could blitz the AV8 again. He's already moved the mummies. Yeah.
I assume he'll blitz the guard again. The thing is that assuming you almost want to use your reroll on the pickup, because getting the ball away down the field almost guarantees you the score here. I can't see any way for Creatan to recover the situation.
Yeah, I would certainly agree. As long as he gets this pickup, Creatan's in a very bad spot, and he'll have to try to steal the ball and score on the next half.
It's interesting because I really would have agreed with the fireball. Not the fireball, sorry, the lightning bolt on the skink. Because of what happened, the chance to put the ball in the crowd and get this dream scatter. What I didn't agree with the fireball, and yet as it turns out, the fireball, Nuffle decreed was the better play. Whoa, that's rude.
He wants to get the guard off so that he can hit the Crocs. I thought he might try to do it, but I didn't think he would go for a 1-die.
He's going to try and palm the Crocs.
Yeah, maybe foul it at the end.
But surely you're going to secure that ball and leg it first.
Yeah, certainly.
But you cannot stand on the sideline against a wizard. You just can't do it. You're asking for trouble.
Out. Yeah.
Oh,
first failure. Will he? Does get now? He should just move left, and he does.
As far as you can that way. No need to GFI now because there is nothing that can stop you. Now he's going to try and go for the glory Croxigal.
Oh, I don't like. If you wanted to go for the foul, you should have placed the white towards the top, because then he could have pushed him in the middle. But
the Croc survives. He might come round and foul the killer instead. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't need a GFI, and he's got a 1 assist foul. I don't know why he particularly based up that Saurus there. He would have been much better off leaving the white where it was and fouling from this square next to the Croxigal.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's just thinking about a stall till turn 8, and this Saurus is the only one that can get down over there.
True. A very good point.
Yeah, Blodgesaurus can mark the ball via Harrow, but he's intact. Well, I guess you'd blitz the killer off with your killer, and then you'd have to dodge on a 5+ through the mummy to get the mark. Might be a 55% chance to succeed that dodge.
Killer on killer yet again, and this time Terry Hall finds a knockdown. Bombs it.
Oh, and this time we see the pylon.
Rewarded too. That struck me as a pylon of frustration with how this half has gone. But we did get the removal on the only tackle player on the Undead team. And it does free up Greg Goldberg, who does technically need still a 5+ dodge with a reroll to actually go and mark the ball. He needs to protect that killer too, because that'll be fouled. Now, it feels around about the time that we're due a Croxigal Bonehead, doesn't it?
Yep, and there it is. So will he go for the mark, the 5+ dodge? Plus agility skink is pretty safe back there and completely irrelevant.
I've watched a lot of Blood Bowl. I know when a Croxigal is going to bonehead. Gerber always says it's the moment the Croxigal is required to do anything important is the moment a Croxigal boneheads. You've surely got to go and pressure the ball. There's every chance if Creatan can force the ghoul to score next turn. He has the players to 2-turn and find an equaliser.
Yeah, he even has the ability to do a 1-turn.
Maybe don't even take the dodge. You don't need to base the ball. Rolls
He
it
gets
anyway.
the dodge. You might as well go for the mark now.
If you've rolled that, you might as well roll this.
You might as well go. Oh! And the last CFI. 2 turns. Well, 3 turns. 2 rerolls, but.
That is bad news.
Yeah, and that's gonna allow him to stall till
That's
turn 8.
pretty much a turn 8 stall. Things are going horribly, horribly, horribly wrong for Mighty Reptiles here, proven to be anything but mighty so far. Down goes Ken Wu II. Now he is permanently down 1 Saurus, and the Apo was used. He's got another one KO'd, but of course with the turn 8 score he'll only have 1 shot of getting that back. There's every risk he'll take further damage.
On the plus side, Dick Delaware only has 1 chance of getting the killer back, but he does have a babe. So there's a better chance of him coming back than that Saurus.
Mummy Blitz on the skink. Is it? No, it's on the guard. Finds a knockdown on the armor value 8.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Can still hit the Crocs with the zombie if he wants to. Just needs to get some guard and then 1 more assist.
There is a skink that can still go and pressure the ball, and with the current position of it, on the turn after he could be served.
Guy Germain.
So yeah, that's the one. It's that spare skink there. So do you need to cover that off? Can you cover that off?
You can mark him, but he is stunned. He can just dodge through. And of course, you're going to move the ghoul 1 square away so that he doesn't have the possibility of getting served. The issue is he's a blodge stepper, sidestep, so if you don't POW, you'd have to dodge with the ghoul. If you blitz with the ball carrier in that scenario. Yeah, so he marks off Guy Germain. Guy Germain can still just move up and dodge through this gap here.
The thing is, because of the fact that Guy Germain couldn't actually go and base the ball carrier anyway, all he needs to do is stand somewhere in the backfield, and that potential surf play on the next turn is still on. Obviously, we can move the ghoul and force him to roll 2 dice uphill.
Well, we're going to see a foul, I'm guessing, on Kenwood second.
It makes a lot of sense. No Apo, and every Saurus you can remove here, which is great news. Ken Wu II is injured.
Ooh, cast! He'll take a zombie, but yeah, you'll definitely take that trade. Minus armor. Ooh.
Well, you'd rather it on the rookie than any other. But we are running out of lizards here.
At least that's the one you'd want to have permanently injured and not Jesse Hall.
You may have spotted 40, and for anyone else who's just catching up here, a fireball was hit while the Jermaine Gray here, who had possession of the ball, was on the sideline. Fireball knocked down the killer, knocked down the ball carrier, the ball went in the crowd, and the scatter for nerves was perfect. The ball landed here next to all of the players that he just committed to a fairly poor foul the turn before.
I think we're going to see a palm on Vegas if he can get him down. That's what the blitz is going to be.
Creatan just has to fully focus removals of positionals now.
I don't know how I feel about moving up that skink, though. Might even burn the... Wait, he's only got 1 reroll left.
Yeah,
and
save it. If he's planning to try to force Dick Delaware to give him a 1 turn, he wants to save that reroll.
Yeah, well, he can screen off and protect the double plus agility. He's definitely going to want to do that.
Foxygore finds a double pow as Full Toll the second comes back into the game. Finds a death as well, but I think it's going to regen.
Yeah, it's the regen.
2 injured zombies, 1 dead. Both regened, and there's 5 on the bench.
Regen doing work.
Now dive and tackle.
He's going to get 2 skinks there, yeah.
Now that's interesting because that opens up the chance for the 1 dice on the next turn. And that tells me that nerves... Oh, hold the phone.
Nope. And unfortunately, this diving tackle skink does not have sidestep, so it's very trivial for the ghoul just to blitz him off.
Yeah, the ghoul can keep
As long as
pace.
he doesn't stand there and get surf. He just needs to move 1 square. The only other thing is, I guess he could actually still get a 1 die if Greg Goldberg does a double GFI. Since he didn't mark up Greg Goldberg at all, I'd figured that he was going to bring someone down to get in his way, but that didn't end up happening. So, the stall, he's in a very commanding position right now.
I don't know how I feel about the stall.
Yeah, he's
We're
so
going
out
to go
of
and
position.
blitz the RG5. If he rerolls, we're going to score. He's got 2.
He does not greet it, so yeah, we're probably just going to score now.
So if he's not blitzing up the field, he must be going to score. But of
Either
course,
that or maybe bring down the ghoul in front of Greg Goldberg and marking Adam Banks II. You need to do a GFI for that, though.
I actually understand entirely his decision not to re-roll that. Here comes the score, and Nerves have the lead.
So now the Lizardmen have to go for the 1 turn. At least they have the skinks to do it still.
He learned his lesson again from the greed reroll that produced the double skull. Had he rerolled that into double skull, it was suddenly possible for Creatan to surf the ball carrier. Taking the score, the much better play, and we try and defend the 1 turn from here. Nerves on the verge of an upset. Killer stays out, but of course we now get the extra go to get both KOs back. Which, for anything, I think Dick Delaware is probably willing to make that trade of giving Creatan an extra 4+ to get that Saurus back, to give himself an extra 3+ to get his killer back. He does have the bait.
And the benches are gone for now. So we're going to see the back screen. I don't know how I feel about this in this scenario. Because the chain push 1 turn is pretty easy. And Stunty is just going to allow you to just dodge right through it.
Against Stunty, with RG5 and Stunty, yeah, you're making him make 4 dodges, as opposed to 3. But, does he care?
I don't know if you use the Agi5 to
make the pass.
Be the one to do the 1 turn. I think he might need to go back because the Undead have a kicker. He's definitely going to kick it deep, and you might need to do some kind of skink pass. Because what Eisenmike would always do, or at least when he had an Agi5 skink, his fair would always be the retrieval, and the 1-turner would be the blodge, sure feet, sprint. Funny enough, this is almost a mirror of Eisenmike's team, except not enough permanent injuries.
Cunning Foxpot makes a good point, that if the 1 turn does work here, we do actually get 3 goes of getting the KOs back.
Yeah. Undead would get a couple hits. I don't know if they'd go for the 1 turn. They don't really need to. They could probably just go for damage.
What is happening?
He's probably thinking of how he's going to do the 1 turn. He's got sidestep, so he's going to want to blitz into the skink, and that's it's pretty easy to get this 1 turn because you only need to move him up a total of 2 squares with the sprint.
Sprint your feet as your man, isn't he? And of course, Well, the screen in the backfield is remarkably poor, actually.
I mean, there's not much he could do about it.
But realistically,
Right now-
though, do you not just set your players up the field to cause issues for getting the ball to the skink? Rather than just leaving them in the backfield?
Yeah, well, what I would have done is I would have made the chain push a lot more difficult. You would probably line up all your guys close to the line of scrimmage to make it so that it would be difficult for him to catch the ball. He'd either need to catch it on a mark, or in this case it would be 4+ catch, or if you'd move him up the pitch, then he'd probably have to catch it something of like 4+, or well 5+ even maybe. It all depends if you can get the zombie down.
But
yeah,
confirming that he never had piling on a Saurus, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's the one difference. Pretty much the only difference.
Agi5 is better than the sprint, all of the things being equal, right? Yes, but of course you want the Agi5 to make the pass because he's better at that.
Yeah, because there's a pretty high chance the ball is going to go deep, and skinks are very shit at throwing passes.
They are dreadful at it.
In fact, I have no idea why he's not trying to leverage his...
Oh, he gains a turn. Well,
Wow.
we didn't consider the riot, did we?
But look at how deep that kick is. If it was no riot, then...
I tell you what, then.
yeah, you would have had to throw a pass for sure.
It's lucky he got a riot.
He's still probably going to need to throw a pass at some point. There's no way you're going to be able to get a handoff for a score in this scenario. Unless you're either doing a crap ton of GFIs.
This
Your
is always a
possibility.
tricky scenario. You know what? Is he just going for this anyway?
Don't re-roll it. No, he is going for it, and he burned the re-roll. It's a... he is going for it anyway. I think you should have just been like abandon ship once you don't get that. If you were gonna go for the one turn.
I'm fine with going for it. I'm not fine with re-rolling.
Because yeah, you can still score. You skinks are in scoring position if they're 3 off the LOS. And not many players can get that far. Only really the ghouls. Maybe the zombie in the center.
Actually, he's gonna leave his skink pretty deep here, so that he can't be blitzed by the undead, and he's still within the range to run it in. But he doesn't have a reroll for the catch, and skinks drop the ball a lot.
He'll need to throw a pass as well.
Well, you know what? You almost might as well try and throw the pass this turn, because if it does work, happy days. Although, having said that, how far can the skink get? The skink can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's going to need a short pass. No, this isn't a good idea.
Wait, is he gonna? No.
No, because the skink's
Don't
not in
throw the
scoring
pass
range.
now. No! He's only got 1 scoring threat, and that's very, very easy for the undead to blitz here. So, this is a very common mistake. You should almost always at least put a scoring threat, get your scoring threat into scoring position on the 2-turn before you want to do your rolls. And this is why.
I imagine we're going to blitz the scoring threat. The
Of
Rumble
course.
Bee School of Blood Bowl. First rule, blitz the scoring threat. Onan's right. It does seem like nerves are getting to Creatan here. Quite literally. Very good point. He could have had 3 scoring threats and a reroll. Instead he has 1 scoring threat and none.
Yeah, there's no way Dick would have been able to stop a chance at a 1-turn. It would have been impossible. I mean, a 2-turn, excuse me. I mean, either way, he couldn't stop the 1-turn. Especially with this defensive setup. But
That's a 3 dice.
yeah, he's going to do the GF5 for it. Hoping for the double 1. And
That'll do
no,
it.
that's it.
So long, little scoring threat. It
There's
wasn't meant to
only...
be.
I'm trying to think if there's a chance. There's only a chance if
It's possible.
Dick gives it to him, is that you try
Ooh,
to
double GFI foul on the skink. Here we go. This is rowdy. That skink is fine.
Oh, and he goes off.
Double one. Now it's possible, and I'll tell you why it's possible. Because he stood the zombie up.
Oh,
It is
yeah,
possible to chain push the skink, and he shouldn't have stood the zombie up. Standing up the zombie was a really bad idea.
So he chain pushes the skink up. You mean he blitzes the ghoul and he pushes him up, and he needs to push him up 2 squares. Oh no, because he's got sprint, right?
What is? Oh, he hasn't
Oh, no,
seen
he
it.
doesn't. Yeah.
You would okay. So what you would do is you would. Could he got the second block?
It's messy. I don't know if it's.
I don't think he could
You
have got the
could
second
chain
block.
push the ghoul, yeah, because he doesn't have. I'm trying to think of how you would do it. Because you need to push the ghoul farther to the left. You might
There's
actually
also-
not go
okay.
for the.
Option 2.
You don't go for the chain push. You have to push. You have to probably blitz him down. Blitz the ghoul downwards. Okay, so he's gonna go for the chain push here.
Yeah. So this is the option. You now push him there. Can we get?
I don't think so. He's not going to. But I don't think you can, because you're not going to be able to get the next hit on the ghoul, because you've only got Dean Portman, and you can only hit the ghoul from the left's angle. And you're not going to be able to push the skink up another square. I think you might have been able to do it if you blitz the ghoul down into Greg Goldberg and then push the skink up 1 and then have Dean Goldberg push him up again. But I don't know if you have enough players up there to do that.
Pass is good. My idea was to try and use the zombie that he'd stood up to push. You would have had to blitz, but I don't think you had 2 pushes, which I think is the problem with that suggestion. You could have.
Yeah, you get
sidestepped
1.
You get 1, and it's not enough.
You could have blitzed the zombie. Oh yeah, that probably would have been better. You blitz the zombie and push the ghoul down. That's one way to do it.
Yes.
And
That
then you would need
would
to
have been-
place the Croxagore here, but then you'd need one more player on the left side, but you could probably have dodged like Guy Germain over there. Yeah, I think you could have done it.
But even then, would it have needed a skink long bomb?
Yeah.
And can skinks
Either that
even
or a
long
pass
bomb?
handoff. In this case, I think the sidestep would just be able to reach. Connie Moreau.
I'd be interested to see. What I'd like to see is somebody spend some time, if they have time over the weekend, and work out whether that was possible. I'd be very interested to see whether you could have scored there. We're now just looking to, because of course the Undead still have a turn, so we need to protect the team, but... Well,
Skinks failing dodges.
not a great half for the mighty Reptiles, who have it all to do. Feels to me like Creatan's possibly tilting a little bit. Needs to just calm himself down ahead of the second half. It is certainly possible to turn over an Undead team and score. It's possible to
Yeah,
turn
he just
over any
needs
team
to get
and
the
score.
ball and score, and then you've got overtime. And with your skinks and like the double plus agility skink, it'd be fairly hard for Dick Delaware to deny you a score completely.
You might as well re-roll that. We're not rewarded
No.
for it. I think what you would say is if we need a bit of a lucky roll, we want Osaurus back, definitely. It'd be a superb bonus if that killer white would stay out. What we don't want is the opposite scenario, if we're Creatan. Osaurus does come back, so the first part is good. 3+ for the white to come back, and he does as well. But hey, at least
Not
the
the
Saurus
worst
is
time.
down. Without that Saurus, I think if he was down, what would he have been down? 2 Saurus? 3 Saurus he would have been down.
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
would
you
have
could
been
have done
very
that from
hard
there.
to. That would have been very hard to defend with. Yeah, so he's only down one player, but down 2 Saurus. Skinks don't make that difference.
So, suggestion from Diasic Fish that the Lizards don't deserve to win this. They don't deserve to be winning based off the first half and then not. There's time for him to change that. So, I don't like to say that someone doesn't deserve to win the whole game based on one half, because if he turns it round and plays well in the second half, then he'll deserve to win the game. But he has a lot to do.
I think you put the Blodge on the line, but rather than this minus AV guard, because this line is going to be taking some hits, especially because the Undead have the mummies and the guard, and
that guard player is really important for him, isn't it? Although I actually think the instant blitz from Dick Delaware will come in on the killer, because it's the only source of tackle on the team.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty large amount of dodge for an Undead team.
He's got a Blood Sure Hands Ghoul as a starting point. Get rid of tackle, it's very, very difficult to get him down, because there's no wrestle on the team. So you're fishing for a 6.
Yeah, he's lining up to hit it, but he's going to have to block the line first to get enough assists to blitz the killer.
Based on that first half, you'd certainly say that Dick Delaware has played the better. He's made the better decisions overall. And to be fair, he's been rewarded with some removals. Nuffle has been kind to him on that front. But as I say, Creatan's certainly a good coach. You don't win GMAN Division 2 without being a good coach. So this game is not over by any stretch.
Yeah, and the only removals that Creatan has right now, aside from the regens, are the send-offs. 3 zombies in the send-off box. But Dick Delaware certainly had the bench to leverage that. Okay, so he is going to be using a ghoul for the assist for the blitz, it looks like. He positioned him over here.
You got 4 ghouls on this Undead team, which is interesting. That's a lot of ghouls.
Certainly fast. Certainly gives him more flexibility.
Yeah, it'll be Mighty Blow, White Block on the Frenzy. It'll be Mummy Block on the Guard, and it'll be a Mummy Block on the Croxigor, working that way along the line. The kick produces a blitz.
A blitz!
Well, I said the game wasn't over. An Agi5 Skink is going to have no problem getting under that ball.
You're probably going to go for the killer. I imagine the killer is now going to go... Terry Hall is going to go hit Femoral and try to lock him down.
I mean, you could be tempted to take out the Wrestle Ghoul.
That is true.
Following that up would put you on the Guard Ghoul. But
He's going for the killer.
Lumi called it, and that's a POW.
Oh, and an armor break too. That's going to be big. Removal as well.
He just got him back, and Femoral's knocked out before he even gets a turn. So what I said the ideal scenario was that the killer stays KO'd. Well, technically that counts. I didn't consider the blitz into removal that way to keep him off the field, but every little helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, so can definitely get under that ball. You're going to want more skinks than just that plus agility one up there, though.
Really, at this point, he needs to throw everything he's got at this. If he can surround that ball with skinks, there's every chance he can sneak a turn 9 score. Then we're level, and then we can try and play it from there.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is he needs to... Obviously, Terry Hall needs to mark at least one of these dodge players. You either mark Giastic the White, and that will prevent him from getting a 2-die block on Dwayne Robertson. Unless he cancels out the assist with the zombie, which he probably would. Or you can mark the ghoul deep Peronial. Yeah, so he's going to mark Blodge Guard Ghoul.
I don't like that.
You think there's a chance of a surf?
Well, if any of these skink plays go wrong, I tell you now there's a chance of a surf.
Yeah. I think he's gonna screen off here. Maybe the DT is gonna go on the wrestle. I don't know. He's just gonna push him here.
He's not
is
flooding
he,
it,
is he not gonna take advantage of the blitz?
He's not, you know.
Oh.
He's only throwing the Agi-5, it seems, and nothing else. The Agi-5 is going downtown.
And he fails the GFI. Obviously, you reroll that.
Even in overtime formats. Oh.
One more.
Do you take one more? I don't think he can. He does, and he's under the ball as the Agi-5 skink.
Uno mas.
There's a 6 right when he needed one.
Yeah, and this is where I would have liked to mark the wrestle and the block.
Well,
like if you would put diving tackle on the wrestle, and then you mark the tackle onto Skiastic, then he would have to blitz with something. You'd either have to blitz with the ball carrier.
You could never have marked the block ghoul in the backfield. He's going to get a 3 dice with block on any ghoul he likes. He's going to go with the wrestle.
So he's going to use the wrestle.
Finds a
rolls a pow anyway. Yeah, if he had marked a bunch of the... I mean, you could have taken a lot of damage, but if you had marked more players up in the front, then he probably couldn't have gotten this 3 die easily. Not without rolling dice, at least.
Do we think he needed to send more players forward than he did in the end?
He could... I mean, the best case is he could have pretty much put mostly a cage around it. He played very conservative here, though. But I don't know if you can afford to do that in the position that you are in right now.
It's easy to sit here and say that when you don't have to make the call.
Yeah, but it's still a failed pickup here would be utterly disastrous for Dick Delaware.
Yeah, that 1 in 9 could save the day. That 1 in 9 doesn't happen.
Oh, and the sure hands works.
Gotta be careful though, because those skinks are still able to flood that ball.
He's gonna try to get a full cage here, but he's gonna need to dodge the Lodge Guard Ghoul.
Yeah, so again, a 1 in 9.
Oh, I don't know if I like that. Because the right side is actually not as nearly vulnerable, but the dodge is fine.
It's away with it. We have our cage. And Creatan needs a new plan.
Because if that ghoul had failed the dodge, then it would have been it would have been very easy for him to blitz on that corner. I'd have rather had the guard ghoul go on to the other side.
Croxigor is up. Where's he going? He's presumably going somewhere. It doesn't make a lot of sense to leave him where he is. He leaves him where he is. So where is his blitz going here? What do you blitz?
Yeah, the killer is marked. Otherwise, then, if he was towards the center, you could go for the block guard ghoul. That would be a relatively squishy target to hit.
I would actually send a skink forward to mark up that zombie that's on the floor to prevent him standing back on the tackle player.
That's a good idea.
Because all that zombie's going to do on the next turn is stand up and go and just stand straight next to the killer again. So I'd use that rookie skink to just stand here. Keep the zombie locked down. You could maybe use another one to prevent another zombie just standing on the tackle player.
Yeah, I'd almost think you'd want to blitz. Looks like a mummy wouldn't have been a bad idea. But obviously that's not really an option now.
Frenzy could cause
That's
all
gonna be a
sorts of
frenzy trap.
problems.
Oh, he is fortunate. That would have been a half die on the frenzy follow-up. I don't know about that. You could have easily just used the block guard if you wanted to blitz.
Luis Mendoza dodges away. Now, what's the plan with him?
Looks like he's just going to run down and try to be relevant. Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for the Undead to move through here. A lot of his players are stuck in the backfield.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you go 1-0 up on your opponent's drive and suddenly you don't have to score. It's very easy to suddenly play the game differently.
Yeah, he can definitely take his time.
He doesn't need to score, but does that cause him to misplay his offensive drive and actually let the Lizards in by not being aggressive enough? If he's too cautious, then the Lizards can lock him down and try to steal.
Yeah, so since he didn't mark Hippoglossal, he just comes in and marks Terry Hall again.
Mummy Blitz. Surely on the
Gonna
guard.
be blitzing.
No, it was a 2. Oh, reroll.
Oh,
turnover!
That's gonna open up the cage.
Now this is exactly what I was saying. One bad decision and suddenly this is a whole different ball game. Was it a bad decision? Maybe.
He could have. There was a safer blitz he could have done. It was not with block, but yeah, 181s don't happen often, but when they do,
Tell you what, that was a frenzy trap again. That would have been a 1 dice. It is a 1 dice.
it is a 1 die.
I mean, it massively,
I don't know what
massively.
Creatan is thinking.
Lazy play, really, but he can set up a 2 dice on the ball. He can get the Crocs in there. He's got 2 ways he can play this. He can either try and blitz the ball carrier, or he can just try to put the Croxago in there and leave Prehensile Tail on the ball carrier.
Now, if only he had marked Hippoglossal, then he would easily have a killer hit on the ball carrier in this circumstance.
A rookie
But he didn't.
skink. A rookie skink, but that's all it would have taken to completely change this game. Instead, he goes with the guard, and he does
not roll
find
the
a
POW. I imagine you want to fish for that POW. Especially since the
Finds
bus is-
it!
Yeah, and he gets it. So, I think you push him left, because there's less likely chance it'll bounce in 2 tackle zones.
Game is
does
on.
bounce in 2 tackle
Agi5 is very relevant right now.
So 3+ pickup. It's not that hard for the Agi5, and he can get a cage around it if he can pick it up and dodge away relatively easily.
Also got to say that Dick Delaware's decision to not bring these 3 players in the backfield forward a bit before he took that blitz was just a little, again, just lazy
Yeah, there
play.
could have been more tackles those under the ball.
But this game is on.
Yeah, score here will allow Creatan to go to overtime, and whoever wins that toss, I think, will end up deciding that game.
It's interesting. We said that if Creatan was
He's just going to go for the pickup right now, and he gets it. I think I would have moved players over there first before doing that.
It's a
But
sort
now
of
just set up a cage. Just
Set up
set
a
up
cage.
the cage.
He's got loads of movement. He's got loads of movement. This game has turned on its head very, very quickly. He has used 2 rerolls to get here. But the point I was making is that we said that if Creatan cleared his head, got himself back in the game, played sensibly, then he had every
He's going to
chance.
go for a sideline cage. Or, well, I guess that still works.
I don't necessarily think there's the bonehead when we needed the Crocs. I don't necessarily think that this came about from sensible play, because he made some bad decisions. But Nuffle has rewarded him anyway by very much giving him a route back into this Blood Bowl match.
Yeah, Dick Delaware could have played it a little bit more safely, and Creatan would not be in this position right now.
Chapsu, his head's not back in the game at this point, but if he gets the equalizer, his head will be back in the game. Now again, mark up that zombie with a skink. You want to keep this Saurus free.
Now the skink will take a hit. Are you willing to give up that? It was down before.
I think so, because I think that killer Saurus is more useful than that rookie skink right now.
And the mummies are very out of position.
The whole Undead team is in a bad spot here.
Yeah, only the players in the backfield that he happened to have left there can come in and get in the way, really.
Again, goes with the 2 dice with no block.
Doesn't stand up the mummy yet. Yeah.
Pow coming in here from the Mighty Blow White on Sky. Like, interestingly, he also didn't mark up that mummy to prevent the guard moving away. Although, having said that, he can't move too far.
There's maybe some fatigue setting in. Right now, the order in which he's moving his players is not particularly optimal.
Is he looking for a... I think he's going to foul the block guard.
No DP.
I think he'll do it anyway. Both dirty players have been ejected, sent off. No, that suggests he might not.
No, I don't think so now. Yeah, he moves him away.
Right, okay, he wants to GFI with the mummy, and that's why he hasn't moved. Gonna target the Wrestlesaurus. Not the Wrestlesaurus,
Wrestle
sorry.
ghoul hit on the Blodgesaurus.
He's wanting to make 2 GFIs with his mummy, possibly to mark up the Crocs. That's why the mummy's not on his feet yet. Push only. Don't think you can follow this. Sensibly doesn't. But we have a game now.
At least the Frenzysaurus is out of position for Dick Delaware. Otherwise, then those players would be seeing the crowd.
2 GFIs coming from the mummy, I would say.
Mark the Crocs. Let's see. 1. And he fails the second one. I don't think you re-roll that.
No. Oh, he does in
Oh,
overtime.
he does.
Well, we're down to 1 each. This is very, very aggressive play.
Because I don't think, as Dick Delaware, you're going to be able to deny this. Unless Creatan somehow opens up his skink to get blitz. Or snakes a roll.
What are we doing if we're Creatan? Are we actually trying to stall this out for the turn 16 score, let's go to overtime? Or are we trying to run this in and then trying to pick up a 2-1?
Yeah.
Surely you're trying to stall out as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he's only got 4 Sorai. Dick Delaware still has the significant strength advantage. And if you score early here, that gives enough time for Dick Delaware to grind down, maybe get into scoring position and score.
And we've got an interesting scenario here where both coaches are actually tilting a little bit. The mummy reroll, I really don't agree with. Maybe not even in overtime format.
Yeah, because he could just get hit now. Well, he'd need to mark. He'd need to get an assist to get a 2-die, but we'll see what he does. He doesn't. Creatan doesn't need to play this aggressively. He can back this off. He still has plenty of time.
Blitz on the kicker, which is interesting. That's not a bad target now with the prospect of overtime on the horizon.
And is he going to mark the mummy so that he can get a 2-die with the Croxagore? With Greg Goldberg?
If he's going to do it.
No.
I think the plan is to actually cage up centrally here. But I don't
So
like
is that going to be a cage corner? That means he still needs to rely on the Crocs to get this block.
Also, there's a mummy based up against the cage.
Alright, so he uses the skink.
Surely move the skink before you throw this block. If a Croxagore double skulls and you haven't moved that skink, you deserve everything you're going to get here.
Yeah, he moves them. He moves them. Gonna open himself up for another skink blitz, it looks like. But at least not on the ball.
Yeah, this is a high-pressure environment, playoffs. Like, it's... People are taking this seriously. People want to win. So, it can get to you. You can start making mistakes you weren't making when the...
Oh, a bonehead! I don't think it's gonna matter at least, but the skink could be taking a hit here. 3-die hit from a mummy.
What is the golden rule of Croxagores? They will bonehead when you least need them to. That's a 1 in 9 into a stun on Connie Moreau III.
I'm surprised he didn't fully screen this off. I think he can get a blitz on the ball.
There is a 4+ for a 2 dice on the ball.
I think he can just do a double GFI with the ghoul.
Could come around the back. Oh, he can come around the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He needs 1 GFI with the block ghoul.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Block guard,
yeah.
1 GFI with the block guard ghoul. You would take that all day.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely take that. Especially because you might be able to remove the plus agility if you get him down.
This is kind of swinging from questionable play to questionable play. There's been some bad dice on that turn for Creatan. That 1 in 9, not helpful at all.
Yeah, at this point, you want to keep your hands on the ball at all costs. It's pretty much rule of 1, because whoever's going to have this ball is going to be able to either force into overtime or outright win this game.
Surely you take the ghoul blitz before you do anything else here.
Yeah, just move your players, mark up some stuff, so that if you do fail... Okay, so here comes the blitz.
Pow!
Gets the down. You're definitely going to pow and push. Oh, he's got the side steps. He's going to go down and right, I'm guessing.
Goes towards the Crocs. Doesn't find any damage. It's
But
well,
that's
it's a
a good
boneheaded
scatter.
Crocs, yeah. He doesn't provide anything there in terms of an assist.
Yeah, but at least it's difficult for a ghoul to come in and pick it up.
Well, the best... Yeah. It is. But we can get some ghouls in there to surround it. He needs a 4+, 3+ with dodge to pick it up.
If you were really, really greedy, you might even consider fouling that double agility skink.
I don't know if we've got any players left to do that.
You'd have to use a ghoul for it.
Most of the zombies have been sent off. The wrestle ghoul is very valuable. The only
Yeah,
player
he
that you
already
might foul
moved
with.
he already moved the dodge ghoul. Just the rookie ghoul.
Wrestle ghoul is a sweeper I don't dislike at all. 3 dice on the skink. If it wasn't a mummy, I might have been tempted by the boat down there, but the mummy's really slow, and it would have freed up the Croxigol.
Yeah, the Croxigor can then just blitz off Peronial, but of course then he might just bonehead. Because this is the second turn he's boneheaded, right? Let's see if we can go for 3 in a row.
Armor 8 going down.
Yeah, the minus armor, but unable to break. Just 1 short.
I think he's going for this.
That's just going to get a mark.
No, I think he's going to go for this with the Black Guard. He's not leaving a safety at all.
You mean just dodge through 4+?
4+, 3+. I think he's going to go for this. Here he goes.
He gets it.
Wow.
And
How would you like them apples?
this is all because Creatan left a hit on the ball. If he had screened off with the skinks before doing that dodge, it probably would have not have happened.
And yet he's just thrown himself into a worse position. He had to get away from the Croxigol, I guess, but the skinks can theoretically get themselves a shot on the ball here quite comfortably. Dive and tackle can come into play. We just need to not 1 in 9.
Yeah, you can easily free up 3 skinks. 1 skink you don't even need to dodge as long as you can get that mummy down with the Crocs.
Well,
But
you might not do that because you can push him into the Crocs for another go as the other white is knocked out. But if you go for the dodge instead, you could push him into the Croxigol for another shot if you don't find the POW.
All right.
Worst of both worlds.
Pushes. Yeah.
Don't like the follow-up because now you can't push him onto the prehensile tail. However, another removal. Oh, an injury.
Another casualty. This one is not regenning. And it's the kicker, so if we had gone to overtime,
Could still happen.
could still happen. But if overtime does happen, that is going to hurt Dick Delaware's ability to kick the ball if he does not receive.
Oh, and a
And
death!
that's a dead zombie. All these zombies are getting murdered.
3 removals in 1 turn, and suddenly, if we can find a knockdown here, there's pretty much just ghouls and mummies left. In fact,
If you,
there is 1 zombie, and then it's 4 ghouls and 2 mummies.
so the numbers have shifted. Searle is in a scoring position, so if these skinks fail these dodges, I mean, he doesn't even need to score.
Well, he's got the
Because
Agi
other
5,
ghouls-
who could go first, but diving tackles on him now.
All right, that's 1. That's an easy blitz off, though.
That is a big, big turn for Creatan.
So then do you dodge Tommy Duncan, or do you go for the plus agility? The plus agility gives the second mark, and now you've got a 2-die blitz. Good old guy Jermaine, I'm imagining.
Yeah. Do you commit a reroll to it? You don't need to.
No, he gets a pow, and you just push him along your skinks.
Oh, it's on the Crocs. Happy days. Happy
Yeah, that's
days.
not bad. Yeah, and with the number of players left on the pitch, it's gonna actually be hard to knock down this Croc.
That is a massive turn for the mighty Reptiles. And they have the ball. And they are away. There is very little I can see that's going to stop this. The ghouls have got to leg it back as safeties now.
Well, I mean, he can still get a blitz on the ball if he can push the Crocs down. So you push, the mummy would push the Crocs down, and then one of the ghouls, probably the guard one, comes in for the blitz. Okay, the guard one's going to come and assist here. Though I would have preferred him for the blitz.
Oh, double skull.
Oh, a double skull. That has to be...
Oh, and a turnover. It's going to go to overtime, this one, folks. That is that.
Yeah, that's gonna call it. We're gonna go to overtime, and
Suddenly looking very, very good for Creatan.
yeah, and Dick Delaware has a couple KOs, and there's only gonna be 1 chance to get them back if he stalls this all the way.
That's the second crucial mummy 1 in 81 we've seen against a block player this half. We saw the mummy take a blitz against the frenzy player early in the half. Messed that up. And that's another crucial failure there. All the rerolls are gone, and we're now going to try and punish by taking down a mummy.
Yeah, in this case, the block on the Croxagore wasn't the wrong play. It was just very, very unfortunate.
That is unfortunately Blood Bowl sometimes. We can have another shot at that mummy, and this time we find the knockdown. My question becomes, would you foul it? Probably not.
Yeah, I'd like to keep all 11 players.
The numbers advantage is big all of a sudden. We're setting up a 2-dice hit from a skink on a ghoul.
Guy Jermaine. Oh no, we're gonna do the block with the Crocs first.
Opted against making that a 3-dice. Don't particularly like freeing him up. Tying down the ghouls much more important than tying down the mummy right now.
Because the mummy will need GFIs just to even move.
How on the wrestle ghoul?
Oh, he's gone. He's out with a niggle. How it is turned. And Dick Delaware looking incredibly dominant for the beginning of this game. And then when that blitz happened, he recovered, but then that 1 in 81 has just shifted this game completely.
His nerves will be shot, and the team is certainly shot. It's going to go to overtime, and you've got to back the Lizards from here. He is missing 2 Saurus for the next game, yes.
If you're Creatan, you just hunt ghouls, I'm guessing. Just blitz these ghouls, pile on. There's nothing Dick Delaware can do. He can't really even get a foul, so...
The thing is, with the Saurus issue, he has 150k in the bank before the game. Oh, failed GFI!
Oh, and a failed GFI, and... Mummy's on the ground if you're feeling brave, but I think you just go for the ghouls and try to murder them.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Guard Ghoul is on the menu.
Could have gotten 1 more assist for that 3-die. Probably not probably going a bit fast here, but he could have gotten the 3-die with just 1 assist, and you've got plenty of free players to do that. And it's not like the ball is threatened at all.
Pushes galore here. Do you foul the sure hands ghoul in case of overtime?
Bring down the sidestepper. You could. Doesn't have regen. Oh, he's just gonna score. He's gonna go for the 2-1.
That's a big decision.
Now, the Undead, if they get all their KOs back, they still have a decent number of players. I think they'll only be down about 2? Maybe 3? So 8 or 9 players if all the KOs come back. Yeah, Lizardmen don't have any KOs.
Those
only
whites-
one of the whites comes back.
It's the killer one,
It's actually significantly worse than I thought it was. He's going to be down 4.
2 turns for Dick Delaware to see this out to make it to overtime. 2 turns for Dick Delaware to find an unlikely winner.
These teams are just ripping themselves to pieces now. Quick snap. Allow the ghouls to move. Is he just going to turtle up and go to overtime?
I think so. Eyes and Mike know the double wake-up roll bug is not in effect.
That was fixed for Legendary Edition? I don't remember exactly.
Gotta say
Maybe
this.
sometime afterwards.
Obviously, the winner of this goes on to face either Steve or Superfed. A match that has been played, but we're not spoiling the result in case anyone's missed it and wants to go and find out what happened there. The 48-hour NDA thing still in effect with REBBL playoffs. Either way, whoever won that game is going to be pretty happy with how this is going, because, as Lumi said there, these teams are ripping each other a new one.
At least the Undead aren't as hit as hard, because most of it's been on zombies. 1 ghoul, but almost all of it on zombies otherwise. Yeah, there's the turtle.
It's an MNG on the Block Guard Saurus who's out. It is a armor bust on the rookie. So he's probably getting fired.
So I imagine Creatan, you should just get the scoring threat. That's going to be the first thing you should do. Otherwise, then the point of doing... There was no point in scoring early. Just get a skink in scoring position before you roll even any dice.
Well, he rolls some
that's
dice.
Not what's gonna happen.
Goes for the ghoul with... The killer gets a pow. Now this could really hurt.
You could pile it on easily. He's not going to, but he doesn't need to.
Incredible. The guard ghoul is badly hurt, and it's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maximum 7 players for overtime.
Really needs that large white to come back.
Now put a scoring threat up the damn field.
Yeah, otherwise then there was no point to doing this. You were going to be hitting ghouls for the next few turns in the previous drive. You just took some hits for no reason if you don't get a scoring threat.
Dick Delaware cannot score before overtime. He is clinging on for dear life. There is no reason to cover up like this. He's going nowhere. Get yourself a scoring threat, or as you say, there was no reason to do this. And surely you would go and put the dive and tackle on the ball.
Yeah, and then if you're going to do that, you'd probably want to mark up the white as well. Yeah, I don't think he's setting up a scoring threat.
Then what was
He can't really do it now. Not unless he uses Guy Germain and runs up the right. Yeah. We're going to overtime.
We certainly are. And we'll see whether that's a good or a bad decision. It's a 3+, remember, with the Bloodwise Spade. This is a non-block blitz with
GFI,
a GFI.
he gets it. And if he gets the tackle down, he might even... I don't think you can foul this, but... If he had removed the tackle, then all his dodge would have been fairly difficult.
Why did he take the GFI?
I don't know. Maybe to form the cage? But yeah, I don't know.
Play, because there was no score.
Yeah, you were all right. He could have... Let's see. Yeah, he could have come in and he could still have blitzed him onto the white. Yeah, I don't know.
And he's also pushed him down into a spot where he can stand up and hit his killer.
Yeah.
No, he's going for the mummy instead.
Gonna pile on... Oh, no. Well,
Well, because you wouldn't mark up the mummy, because he's got guard.
Yeah. Okay.
But it doesn't matter anyway, because
It's
the
the
killer's
last
going
turn.
down, and you might as well jump on his head.
Pile on. Oh, it's just a stun.
This
I don't-
one has been a strange one, but this one is going to overtime.
Yeah, that's that. You might as well just call it and go to overtime. No reason to do anything else. Unless you want to foul it, but don't really need to.
But Creatan couldn't have missed the turns because he made the decision to score. So you must have made a logical decision to think, it's turn 14, this gives me 2 turns to steal, right?
Yeah, but no scoring threat. Then what you would have done is you probably would have thrown yourself at this cage, completely marked it up, forced Dick to roll dice, have a scoring threat with the skink, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been able to keep the cage safe, blitz the ball carrier.
He's going to foul the
have
killer.
Edgy-5. Yeah, he's going to foul it. Rookie skink, who's Tommy Duncan II, who's going to level. 3 assist foul, actually.
Here he goes, and that is a nothing.
It's a stun.
1 more assist, which he couldn't get. Well, he could have got it had he not have piled on. And we would have seen a KO. But we're going to overtime. It's 1-1. And there's a lot of damage on the Undead side.
It would really suck. The Undead need to get this kick. They need to receive this ball.
The Undead don't get the KO back.
They really need to receive the ball to even have a decent chance. Otherwise, it's just going to be miracle dice if Creatan positions properly.
This looks to me like the Undead are going to receive the ball.
Okay, so this...
But there are only
They don't have much left.
6 of them.
2 mummies, a zombie, 2 ghouls, and a white.
The smart money is on a lizard win here. But would you put smart money on this game?
I think that, and I have no idea why Creatan is defending like this. This is a terrible mistake. He needs to spread out.
Yeah, because Dick Delaware is
gonna
basically
go for a
playing for a
two-turn.
2-turn.
Yeah, and what you do is you just keep 1 guy on the LOS to keep these swords from moving, and whatnot, in case of a blitz or whatnot. You blitz, you can go down and blitz the killer with the mummy, and then you have 2 scoring threats. And
You use a white and a ghoul, and you leave the sure hands ghoul in the backfield. And you just send these 2 up the field, and you pray.
yeah.
He has to score within 2 turns, or he will not score.
Why is the ghoul on the line? Okay. I don't know about this. Okay.
Why would you even mark these players up?
Yeah, why are you hitting them? Maybe get a... Okay. He's gonna have to rely on removals then. But
That's
trying
crazy.
to remove AV9 is not great. He gets a reroll, so that will give him a little bit of leeway. And in fact, if he had set up for the 2-turn, that reroll could have given him the game.
Block comes in, and he's not even targeting the Sparesaurus on the side. What is happening?
Yeah, he was going to do it to get this palm hit on the frenzy. But there's only going to be 1 scoring threat now. And pile on there. I don't know how.
I don't think Dick Delaware believes he can win the Blood Bowl match right now.
Yeah, I think
Or the plan is
He's
to
just
just
relying
go
on
full potato.
removals. He gets the down here.
Gets a stun too.
Yeah, that'll help. But yeah, if only he had 2 scoring threats rather than 1. He's gonna pick it up, hand it off, I'm feeling.
Yeah, he's going to pick it up, hand it off, and he's just going to run for this.
Yeah, this is gonna be the potato. Creatan has a reroll, has some block skinks to easily get this ball out. It would have been better to have the ghoul somewhat far back out of reach, and then do some kind of handoff or pass play. Next turn.
He does not set up a scoring threat.
That's not gonna work.
But we can
'Cause
just
it's gonna
clear
be-
the mummy off, right?
It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be easy for him to get a 2-die on the ball. All he needs to do is hit the mummy, Vegas. He just needs a push, and then Dwayne Robinson's got frenzy. You're gonna get 2 hits. Well, the GFI will be on the second.
Even
hit,
if you were going to do this, you put the goal on that side, surely. What's he even achieving there?
yeah. Yeah, I think unless he's gonna need the goal to keep standing, otherwise then the ball's gonna be in Creatan's hands, and it'll be very, very difficult for Dick to recover.
I mean, there is not a hope in hell's chance that the Undead are going to stall this out for 8 turns and hope for kicks. And even then, they're down on rerolls.
In Blodge we trust.
You know what? I don't like using the dive and tackle over there.
Yeah, it would have been more relevant near the ghouls. Because that's what you're going to want to keep from preventing from moving. Because if ghouls are hitting stuff,
Oh, he
they're not
re-rolled.
going anywhere.
He re-rolled on the mummy with Loner.
The Croxagore?
The Croxagore, he re-rolled that.
Ah, I'm delayed, so I'm going to be seeing that soon. Did he re-roll it? Was it a dub skull?
No, he rolled a push skull.
Okay. Worst comes to worst, he could have done the 1-die with the block guard and then pushed him the other way. That probably would have been safer than blocking with the Croxagore. But yeah, that's going to make it very difficult for him to get a hit on the ball.
I mean, he can
So-
technically hit that mummy with the skink that stood right there. He needs to commit the rest of his team to assist. And he's going to commit
Yeah,
the
that's
rest
what it
of his
looks like he's
team
going to try.
to assist.
But you're only going to get a 1-die, right?
No, he can get a 2 if he commits. He's got strength 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3 plus 2 is 5.
Oh no, he's going to blitz.
Oh,
with
he's going to
the-
use the frenzy. Okay, that's safer. That's going to go into... It's still a 2-die, even if he decides not to stand firm.
He might decide not to stand firm, because it puts the mummy in a better position for helping
Yeah,
out
and it'll
with the
also
potato.
bring back Dwayne Robertson, because Dwayne Robertson might go into Mark, and you want to avoid that. Okay. Now you can choose not to do it. And, oh, okay, never mind.
One shot of the armor break.
But yeah, I don't know if you'd roll 2 GFIs, especially after burning the reroll. But yeah, I think we're just going to see Dick Delaware run down and potato. At the very least, Creatan can get in the way with skinks.
Both coaches really are feeling the pressure here, aren't they?
Yeah, but I guess actually having the stand firm there actually wasn't a bad idea because it prevents the guard from marking onto the ghouls because he could have gone in through that gap, and now he'd have to roll a GFI.
Both top their divisions. Creatan finished ahead of Bleeding Hippie. We know Hippie's a great coach. And yet you can legitimately ask questions about some of the decision making in this game.
Yeah, especially as the game probably goes longer. It's very hard to be disciplined when you're playing because you're just exhausted. I remember I played, back in Blood Bowl Chaos Edition, you would have the endless overtime format. The game wouldn't end until someone scored. And that is mentally exhausting when a game lasts 32 turns.
Is he going to foul
20
that mummy?
He could, but I don't think it gains him anything. Because these mummies are so slow. They're not going to be able to do that much because they don't have a whole lot of support.
Foul.
Yeah, he's going to
No.
foul the white. Is that a 1 assist foul? 2 assists.
2 assist foul. Not rewarded.
This is terrible because now the ghoul can get in, both ghouls can get into scoring position.
There's too many Saurus committed to the middle of the field.
Now the undead could okay.
You throw your ghouls forward, right? And you can set them up in such a way that you can't be surfed. Well, you could be surfed. You got to be careful because skinks can dodge into places you don't want. We saw.
You just
saw
run
it
it up.
You just run.
In fact, you might even think about GFIs. I mean, the source is so out of position. You want to make it so that Terry Hall cannot get the hit. If you can avoid that, then I think you've got a shot.
Are you willing to one dice that Croxigal to tie up the guard Saurus there?
Okay, so
You
we're
one
gonna
dice
see
the
a blitz, a 1 die
skink.
blitz on the skink. That's actually not.
But with tackle, it
horrific,
gets the result.
Follow up
Gets
there.
the result.
But that will allow a chain push on Terry Hall. I don't know if you'd be able to leverage that. Oh, 1 die on the Crocs. Comes through.
Yeah,
And that
very
guard
good
is not
result.
going anywhere now.
No, very good result. Suddenly, Nerves have every chance of doing this.
And if only Creatan had just placed players in the way of these ghouls, they wouldn't be in scoring position right now. In all likelihood.
Any failure now, and Dick Delaware wins this Blood Bowl match, despite only having 6 players on the field.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot. I mean, like, I assume he can't just hit this mummy straight up. It's a 1 die because he's only got 1 assist because the ghoul is marking Guy Germain.
He can clear the white off to allow the Agi 5 skink to come across and at least get in the way. He can then use the other skink.
G5 and Tommy Duncan. Crocs, of course, stands up. Probably should have stood him up first, but it doesn't. I mean, any failure you would have lose the game. It doesn't matter
For the love
whether
of
that Crocs is standing or not.
For the love of God, please put a player in the way right now. Even if something goes horribly wrong, force your opponent to do something. Because right now, Nerves don't have to do a damn thing to win this game. Agi 5 comes across. Agi 5 is in the way
Marking
on
the
the
ball.
sideline.
That's fine. I
That is
mean,
fine.
if he blitzes, then obviously you just move in front. If he blitzes with the ball, you move in front of the ball carrier. And it's not a bad place for it.
You could
with
take
the
a 3
sidestep.
plus 3 plus dodge with the dive and tackle to bring him over as well. That's a GFI, you know.
He made it. He still has the reroll.
Oh, he
but,
wants
yeah.
to put the line of skinks right in front. That's what he wants to do. He's gonna bring across probably Connie Moreau the third. Or he might go with a dive and tackle and just make a line of skinks in front. But can you just stop the handoff to the other ghoul?
He's gonna use Guy Germain. He got the sidestep on both sides. Push there. I don't think you reroll. He does reroll it. That's the last one.
God, I don't like the reroll, you know.
Yeah, because I think you
you
keep him marked. You can even follow up as well.
Yeah, this is the thing. You have put him in a position where he can't just hand off to the other ghoul.
What he can do is now he can blitz through Tommy Duncan if he rolls a POW 3 plus dodge for the win.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. He can blitz through that spare skink.
He just needs to. He needs either an assist on it, which is actually pretty hard to come by, or you need to cancel out Luis Mendoza's assist. And And
Oh,
now
this is-
it looks like, yeah, the large number of players is it's starting to swing towards Creatan's side.
There's a power on the mummy. Look, if Dick Delaware wants to win, he has to do it on the next turn. The mummy is stunned. He doesn't have anything left here. If that ball is not in the end zone on the next turn, Creatan is going to win the game. Double skull!
Oh ho ho ho!
I could be wrong.
That's gonna free up the white.
But is freeing up the white enough?
Still has the reroll. Well, you can free up the white, and then if you were feeling, I mean, then try to dodge the ghoul.
You could,
But
you could
you'd
two
risk a
dice.
surf chance. That's the problem.
Yeah, so you would put the white to mark up this skink, and then
Yeah,
you
and
could
then
dodge the ghoul to mark up that skink here. But of course, then you're actually blocking your own route, because that's a square you need to dodge out into.
No, I mean, you just need to cancel out the assist. So you
true.
can move and mark Luis Mendoza on the sideline. And then you can go whichever way you want. If you're looking to do it that way, there's also the chain push play. If you're just looking to get out, you could blitz with the ghoul onto Tommy Duncan to chain push up and then dodge away, but you won't be scoring in all likelihood.
He has one reroll. Creatan has none.
But I think it's fairly prudent to go for the score here. You are at a severe numbers disadvantage.
I think
and
he
you
has
have the
to do it.
positioning. You have a decent position. No.
Well,
That-
no,
that's
actually, it cancels the assist.
Yeah, that will cancel the assist. That actually works. So if he sidestep, he can't sidestep into...
No, you need to not sidestep. He can technically surf his own player here. Why?
He sidesteps. He's going to move there.
Now he has a 2 dice.
Yeah, he's got a 2 die. So 2 die. And if you get a POW, 3+ for the win. Otherwise, then a 4+, 3+.
Surely you had to sidestep here. Surely you had to sidestep here. To make a line of skinks.
I'm trying to think. If you don't use the sidestep... Yeah, the sidestep probably... It would have been better not to use the sidestep.
Even if you do, you sidestep here. So even if the ghoul blitzes through...
Oh yeah, you're right. There is
You-
diving tackle in play. I have forgotten about that. Could blitz up through Guy Germain.
It doesn't knock
Okay.
him down. There is...
Yeah, I
it's a
don't
good
think-
point. There is dive and tackle in play.
So that's going to be a 6+ dodge.
He can't go, can he? He goes. And dive and tackle brings
Does its
him
thing.
down.
And that might be it.
That might be it. The Agi5 is down, but the Agi5 can right now. We can surf the other ghoul.
So then what if you okay, so that was a mistake by me. If you had done that, you could have blitzed the diving tackle.
Yeah, why didn't
get
he
away
blitz?
from
Why
it.
didn't he blitz do the dive and tackle?
Well, yeah, I mean we didn't see the diving tackle until later, so that's probably what happened. Because you don't think diving tackle's on a double plus agility player, but that is what happened. But yeah, you could have blitzed away to dodge back. Creatan doesn't have any rerolls though. So anything can happen. Still needs to roll dice.
Powers the white yet again. If you surf that ghoul,
There's no one that can retrieve the ball, yeah.
no,
He's
you
gonna
might
go
you
for
can
the
just,
hit here?
You can just kill it, if you like. No, well we can go for the surf still. We can still surf the ghoul.
Yep. Yeah, you can still surf.
You can still surf the ghoul.
And that's definitely a pretty good play here.
Gets
He
the
picks up the
ball
ball.
first. Well, it wasn't massively unsafe with that G5. Surely he's going to surf the goal. He is going to surf the goal. I think nerves are all out of steam here.
Yeah, they don't have any players left.
Pow is very,
So
very
close.
good news. And into the crowd goes the rookie goal. He's fine. But he won't be back in the round of 32 because I don't think his team are going to make it. Knockdown on the mummy. And we have the players to try and knock down on the zombie, and that will be every single undead player on the floor at that point.
Yeah, there's only 2 players there above movement 4, so...
And one of them's stunned and way up the field.
Yeah, I think you need miracle dice at this point.
I mean, again, if he doesn't knock the ball down on the next turn, he's not getting the ball, right?
Right. In fact, the white's going to be the best chance I think he has.
So the white needs a...
Or the zombie, actually.
Well, he powers a skink. So that's a thing.
One of the zombies in diving tackle, but it's 1/6 as opposed to a bunch of 6s.
Oh, and an injury.
Connie Moreau.
MNG
MNG.
lost a sidestep skink for the round of 32 game.
So down a source and a skink. Zombie tries. He's a 6+ because of diving tackle.
Gets the 6!
6.
You know what? He's got a shot in the ball with 2 GFIs. No,
But he
doesn't.
already blitzed.
He already blitzed. And that is that. Yeah, we can now run out of range of every player on the field. That is game.
Yeah, that's it. This game had its swings. Holy crap.
I mean, I'm going to say what a game. But, I mean, it was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was fun to watch.
It was entertaining.
It went over to Creatan, then back. It was like Dick Delaware started strong. Creatan came in, then kind of gave Dick a chance, and unfortunately, Dick wasn't able to roll the dice he needed.
Will he palm the mummy?
Why not?
Up goes Asaurus, down comes Asaurus, but he's fine. Yeah, the important thing from these playoff games is that we want to be entertained. And I don't think anyone can say that we weren't entertained here. We haven't watched a boring game. We can argue about whether certain plays were the right play, the wrong play. But we've certainly been entertained by this Blood Bowl match, and that's all we can really ask for. And we're coming up very, very shortly, due to start in a matter of minutes, actually, is the match between Iron Madden and Drakwold Day Labourers. So once this one's done and confirmed, we'll be throwing a host over to Full Metal, who's covering that one. And there'll be yet more Rebel playoff action for you. If it's half as fun as this one to cast, it's going to be a corker of a game. But there is nothing Dick Delaware can do now.
Yeah, just get a blitz on something. It's just a matter of what. Is that going to be...
It's going to be the Blodge Saurus. We don't find the knockdown.
I'm not sure why he marked with that ghoul, but...
That ghoul is stood next to a rather angry...
Dwayne Robertson. This is going to be an attempted foul to assist.
Well, it's cancelled by the skink over there. Tries to foul the killer. This would leave a mark, but nothing doing. Crusader, welcome along. This has been one hell of a game. It's been one hell of a weird game. And it has certainly split chat on whether who we thought deserved to win that, who maybe got the better dice, who got the worst dice. But overall, a very fun game. Enjoyed it.
And just those key critical failures in the second half completely flipped it. And allowed Creatan to be in this position. Because if Dick had just held on to the ball, he would have won.
It was 2 1 in 81 failures. Key 1 in 81 failures from Mummies that have really cost him here. I imagine he'll pile on that. Because we are purely fishing for SPP, and Woody Woodpecker takes an injury. It's a badly hurt, but it is 2 SPP for Terry Hall, and we are filling up that Kaz box. They paid a bit of a price. It's an MNG on Connie Moreau III. It's an MNG on Jesse Hall, who's a Block Guard Saurus who's about to level. And an armor bust on Ken Wu II, the rookie. Saurus. So plenty of damage suffered by the mighty reptiles ahead of the round of 32 game.
Those 3 MNGs are gonna hurt.
He does have 150k in the bank prior to the start of the game. So he can realistically replace a Saurus and potentially a Skink as well, depending on what he rolls on the winnings here.
Yeah, he's certainly gonna replace Kenmu the second.
The killer is on 71 out of 76 SPP, and Steve is right that an MVP would be massive.
Yeah, I think at that point you get break tackle.
Break tackle, probably the right call. Certainly over something like Pro.
Yeah, well, the only other thing would be guard, just because you're severely lacking it, because you have that 1 MNG. But yeah, break tackle, since you absolutely have none. And on a killer would be pretty decent.
Down goes the white, attempting to make a blitz.
Trying to get that 2-die on the Frenzy Saurus.
Presumably
Wayne
Creatan
Robertson.
will now just run this in and confirm his win. And he does exactly that. Mighty Reptiles going through to the round of 32. They had to work for it. But they did make a comeback, having been 1-0 down off their own drive.
At least it didn't go to kicks. But I don't think it could have in this circumstance, unless somehow the Undead could hold on for that long.
MVP goes to the MNG Saurus, who was going to level anyway. But 6 armor breaks only for Nerves. Difficult to win a game. Especially against Lizards when you... Although, to be fair, those 6 armor breaks produced a massive amount of removals. Or certainly permanent injuries at least. But the numbers game got to them in the end, and it's Mighty Reptiles going through to the round of 32. If you do not want to know who they're going to play, I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to mute the stream before I spoil that. So,
Yeah, Nerves didn't have that many armor breaks. A lot of it's because they weren't hitting that many skinks. They were pretty much just hitting Sorai for the majority of the game.
I mean, they got removals on them, to be fair, but it wasn't enough. The Skinks made the difference in the end. But yeah, it's going to be Mighty Reptiles versus Steve's Chaos. Steve managed to beat Brazzers 2-0 in the round of 64. So it's a G-Man 2 versus G-Man 3 game. So hey, we're guaranteed a G-Man coach in the last 16. Happy days. They're in the same part of the bracket, interestingly, as Liam Colston and or Puppy, depending on how the result of that one ended. You may have seen it. Gdanik and Hogstench also in that section of the bracket and still to play. But do we know if Metal is live yet? Do we know if Metal is live?
I do not think so. They just
No, he
they were
is.
just hopping in voice chat.
He's literally live very, very shortly. So, Luminous, thank you very, very much for the co-cast there. Good fun as always.
Yeah, it was fun.
And good luck in your game tomorrow, because I'll be back at this... Well, I've got a game at this time tomorrow, but I've also got a game 2 hours before it as well. I've got a double header tomorrow between the Squishy Conquistadors and Fallen Wonders, followed up by the Pastry Pest taking on Ready Lizard 1. Apparently, I'm getting all the lizards to cast, so there'll be more of that for me. So, that'll be it for me for the night. I will leave you with the hype vid if you want to watch that again. Then we'll throw a host over to Metal for more Rebel playoff action. So thanks for tuning in, guys. ...370 coaches entered Rebel Season 8. The biggest season on record. Now, just 61 remain, all with their eyes on one prize. After a grueling season, their biggest challenge now lies ahead of them.
Man.
Oh, Nemo, no! Nemo! You were the chosen one!
Over the next 6 weeks, prepare to experience the highs and the lows of Knockout Blood Bowl. Drama is guaranteed. Welcome to the place where heroes are born. Welcome to the place where legends are made.
Yasin scores!
He's done it!
Welcome to the REBBL playoffs.
Belt dodge, but he's dead! And Stinger Bell is dead as well! Kool-Aid Convoy's team is falling to pieces.
Whoa! Fillet me, no!
Why would you apple that king? It's a king!
Unbelievable, Jeffrey!
This is so tense! 2+ pick up fails! UNOS are the champions.